My nemesis has been acting really strange lately, because I noticed he keeps sneaking glances at me. I confronted him aggressively. You kissed me. Did I turn into a cat? He replied with a look of grievance. It's not a cat, it's you. Who allowed that? The cat said I could kiss the girl I'm interested in. Our cat had lost its appetite, so I checked the security footage to see if it was stealing food. To my surprise, I saw that Cash, that jerk, had taken advantage of me while I was asleep on the sofa and kissed me. That was my first kiss. I immediately saved this evidence from the security footage. HMPH. Sneaky man. You first got close to the cat on my shoulder, and then made a feint to kiss me. I didn't expect my little angel chinchilla to avoid your tricky lips. But I didn't. I was so angry I couldn't calm down even after drinking 3 glasses of ice water. Wait a minute. Could it be that Cash actually likes me? I was suddenly jolted awake, almost slipping on the floor. With a click, the door opened. Cash, carrying bags of groceries, looked at me in confusion and asked, "What are you doing?" Seeing his sweaty but still handsome face, I was momentarily stunned. "Do you have feelings for me?" Cash raised an eyebrow. "Do you want me to come closer so you can appreciate me?" Well, he's still my nemesis. That annoying little brat. How could he possibly like me? I sneered inwardly. Since you're being so shameless, don't blame me if I'm even more shameless. How else am I supposed to beat you? Cash put the groceries in the kitchen, and then took a can of Coke out of the fridge. I fixed my hair and slowly approached Cash. "What are you doing?" Cash, about to open the can, looked at me, puzzled. I didn't answer but got even closer, staring into his clearly defined eyes, and said with a smile, "This Coke, special for beautiful girls, costs 10 yuan. After all, I carried it back from the supermarket with great effort, so how could I let him have it for cheap?" Cash was momentarily stunned, but showed no reaction, instead turning away to check his phone. Before long, I heard the notification. Alip received 100 yuan. "Buy 10 bottles first. I'm going to cook," he said, not even looking at me, and heading straight for the kitchen. This guy's out of his mind. He used to love competing with me, and always enjoyed bickering with me. Now he's changed and turned into a shrinking turtle. Has he really fallen for me? I stood at the kitchen door and observed him. He was wearing a white t-shirt, black sweatpants, and a pink Hello Kitty apron. His hair was as smooth as if he used conditioner. His neck was clean and white, his Adam's apple particularly prominent. His arms looked strong, and he seemed to have abs. This guy has a pretty good physique. I deliberately moved closer and asked, "Cash, do you work out?" "Yes," Cash replied, busy frying kung pao chicken, not even sparing me a glance. "How many abs do you have?" I persisted. 70 or 80. Cash deftly served the kung pao chicken onto a plate without looking at me. What the heck? Is he messing with me? Are you a centipede or something? Cash remained silent for 3 seconds, then finally looked up at me. Puzzled, I provocatively asked, "One leg corresponds to 2 abs. How did you train them? Can you teach me?" I didn't believe he wouldn't get angry. Cash suddenly stopped talking and stared at me, making me feel a bit unnerved. Cough. I hope I haven't pushed it too far, and angered him. He suddenly leaned in close, and I could even count his eyelashes. "What are you doing?" I began to stutter. Damn it, why is this guy suddenly acting so unpredictably? Cash chuckled lightly. "Are you backing down now? Aren't you supposed to be the little tyrant of kindergarten? Where's your courage?" He mentioned my glorious history from kindergarten. I wonder if my mom told him my embarrassing stories. Cash leaned in slowly, as if about to kiss me. That's when I snapped back to reality. "You pervert." I pushed him away. "TSK. Get out. Don't disturb me while I cook. If you keep causing trouble, I'll tell your mom you failed calculus, and beg me to tutor you." Cash seemed somewhat impatient, not arguing with me further and clearly indicating I should leave the kitchen. He seemed to be sweating, with droplets running down from his neck into his short sleeves. I was momentarily stunned. What's this overwhelming hormonal aura? Is this still the Cash who always antagonizes me? Still not going out. I quickly left. Cash is really acting strange. I hugged the cat and pondered for a while, unable to figure out what's going on. His alternating attitude of disgust and affection was really confusing. My phone rang, and it was my childhood friend Gladys. Asterisk asterisk, bestie, asterisk asterisk, want to go to a movie this afternoon. I've invited Keith. Asterisk wicked smile asterisk. Asterisk asterisk, me, asterisk asterisk, I'm not going. I'm studying calculus at home. Asterisk asterisk, bestie, asterisk asterisk, school hasn't started yet, and you'll forget everything you learned soon. Asterisk asterisk, me, asterisk asterisk, Cash will tell my mom. Asterisk asterisk, bestie, asterisk asterisk, how old are you that you're still afraid of your mom? Wait, what? Cash is at your place. Are you two living together? Asterisk asterisk, me, asterisk asterisk, no, you're overthinking. He's just here to tutor me. Asterisk asterisk, bestie, asterisk asterisk, PFFT. That's so boring. It's better to have a sweet date with a handsome guy. Didn't you say you thought Keith from our class was good looking? Today, I've helped you arrange it. Asterisk asterisk, me, asterisk asterisk, I'll think about it. In high school, Gladys, Cash, and I were in the same class, and coincidentally, we ended up at the same university. Gladys had always been my sidekick, aka my tactical advisor, but since Cash was already cooking, it felt a bit wrong to back out of tutoring now. So, after Cash served the dishes, I eagerly helped him with the rice and soup and started negotiating. Gladys bought the tickets and invited us to a movie. Cash looked at me skeptically and said, "You're not allowed to go. We'll go after studying. It won't be a waste of time. The movie looks really good. I've wanted to see it for a while." I tugged at Cash's sleeve. "Please, Cash." My voice was so sweet it felt like I was about to melt. Cash's face suspiciously flushed. "This is a one-time thing. All right, Cash." When Cash drove us to the mall's underground parking lot, I saw Gladys and two guys from a distance. "You said only Gladys was coming." I heard Cash grinding his teeth. I smiled awkwardly. "It's not many people. We're all friends. And Keith, do you like him? Is that why you asked Gladys to set up this date?" Cash's tone suddenly grew cold. I admired this guy's thought process. Why can't he translate things correctly? "What are you talking about? I don't even know." Just then, my eyes widened, and I was stunned, because Cash kissed me, a fleeting kiss. My heart was racing. It took me a moment to react, and I pushed Cash away. "Are you crazy? What if someone sees us?" I glanced nervously at Gladys and the others. Luckily, they were still far away, and seemed not to have noticed us. Cash smirked with a hint of mischief. Looking either angry or indifferent, he just tilted his head, not answering my question, and said, "Get out of the car." My face was still flushed, my heart still pounding. Was he acting as if nothing happened? So this guy is just messing with me, right? I was so angry that I got out of the car and walked quickly towards Gladys. Gladys was wearing a light blue sleeveless dress today, looking both fairy-like and beautiful, making a striking impression. She gave me a big hug. "Julie, I've missed you so much." Then she whispered in my ear with a sly smile, "I brought Keith along. Remember to treat me to a meal." I patted her back reassuringly, and gritted my teeth to thank her. Standing beside her were two handsome guys. The one in the pink t-shirt was Gladys' flamboyant younger brother, Guy. He nodded at me with a smile. "Long time no see. Julie, you're even more beautiful." On the right was Keith. Keith had always been a popular figure in school, and compared to the annoying Cash, Keith was practically an angel. Not only was he gentle and elegant, but as the class monitor, he had won the admiration of many girls. At that time, I was focused on my studies, and didn't know much about him. Sometimes, we'd nod at each other in the senior Chinese literature office since we were both Chinese class representatives. "Hello, Julie, long time no see." Keith greeted me warmly, wearing gold-rimmed glasses that added to his scholarly appearance. He had a very pleasant look. "I've heard a lot about you. Today's the first time I'm meeting you properly." I glanced at Gladys, who was teasing me with a smile. Keith quickly bowed. "I've heard a lot about you too. The famous full-score essay writer of our grade." At this point, Cash caught up with me, carrying my bag. Gladys noticed Cash's unusual mood and quickly sent her brother Guy to get the movie tickets, and asked Keith to buy popcorn and drinks. Only then did she have time to ask, what was going on? "What's the matter?" Did you two have a fight? Gladys nudged me. How did you end up arguing? Did you fail calculus and make Cash angry? No, I just had too many dumplings with vinegar for lunch. Cash laughed. Gladys, you're treating us to a movie, so how could I be angry? I smiled awkwardly. I'll get him some stomach medicine later. When Guy returned with the tickets and started distributing them, Gladys snatched them from him. You go help Keith with the drinks. She started handing out the tickets herself. Finally, when we sat down in the cinema, I noticed the seating arrangement was Keith, me, Gladys, Cash, and Guy. The arrangement wasn't a problem, but there were 3 buckets of popcorn. Gladys had one, Cash and Guy shared one, and I had to share mine with Keith. Before the movie officially started, I glanced awkwardly at Cash, who was focused on his phone. I was a bit uneasy. His actions today were truly crossing the line. The movie's starting, Keith whispered, and I put on my 3D glasses. The movie was a comedy with a lot of punchlines. Gladys was laughing heartily, fully immersed in the plot, and Keith also had a slight smile, his expression focused. I sat in my seat, feeling anxious. I glanced at Cash, who was also watching the movie attentively, seemingly unaffected by what had happened earlier. I didn't want to keep staring at Cash, so I occasionally ate some popcorn to hide my awkwardness. Is this good? Keith asked quietly, pointing at the popcorn bucket. I nodded quickly. Yes, it's good. The hollow fries are also nice. After the movie ended, I hadn't really absorbed much of it, and the popcorn was almost finished. I wondered if Cash was still angry. Wait, why should I care if he's angry? Shouldn't I be the one who's upset? I squeezed a hollow fry, and it broke with a snap. The movie screen was showing the end credits. Gladys was talking animatedly about the plot, and Keith occasionally chimed in. I smiled and responded, trying not to think about escaping home to hug my cat. How was the movie? Did it meet your expectations? Keith stood up, helping me with my bag, and asked with a smile. I quickly took the bag from him. It was great, though there was a part where the plot twist felt a bit abrupt. I agree with you. I also thought. Keith seemed pleasantly surprised, as if he didn't expect us to have the same observations. He went on discussing the movie's details. Seeing Keith so earnestly discussing the film as if it were an academic topic, I felt too awkward to be distracted, and had to join the conversation. Gladys gave me a wink, as if she thought she had successfully played matchmaker. When we parted ways, Guy gave me and Keith a big grin, and suggested a future picnic with everyone. Gladys immediately agreed for me, and I reluctantly nodded. While sitting in the car, Cash was unusually silent. After starting the engine, he asked if I wanted to go to my mom's house, or back to the apartment. I said I was going back to the apartment since the cat needed feeding. Cash nodded and sped down to drop me off at the building. You not coming up. The atmosphere was so strange. We hadn't exchanged a word the entire way. I felt uneasy, so I asked before opening the door, hoping to break the weirdness. I have other matters. Cash twisted open a bottle of water, his gaze dark. You go up. I didn't expect that answer. Usually, he'd probably tell me to cook for him by now. So, will you come to tutor me again tomorrow? Do you want me to tutor you tomorrow? Cash checked his phone, noting it was already 5:30 p.m. The sky hadn't darkened yet, and the neighborhood was empty. How should I answer that? Up to you. I picked up my bag, not wanting to dwell on the uncomfortable atmosphere, and said lightly, I'll go now. Thanks for today. I looked back as Cash's car drove away. My heart ached for no reason. Not long after getting home, I received a message from Gladys. Asterisk asterisk, bestie, asterisk asterisk, so, how was it? Isn't Keith kind, handsome, and polite? Asterisk asterisk, me, asterisk asterisk, he's quite a good person. Asterisk asterisk, bestie, asterisk asterisk, quite good. Did you fall for him? I took a risk of getting scolded by Cash to set this up for you, so you better seize the opportunity. Asterisk asterisk, me, asterisk asterisk, why would Cash scold you? He seemed quite polite to you. I was a bit puzzled by her words. Asterisk asterisk, bestie, asterisk asterisk, isn't Cash's mom close with your mom? Cash has been like an older brother to you over the years. Although he seems antagonistic on the surface, he's been protective of you like a mother hen. Doesn't that show possessiveness? I bet he's a bit of a sister con. I wondered how Gladys would react if she knew Cash had kissed me twice. Maybe he does have some feelings for me. Asterisk asterisk, me, asterisk asterisk, can't you consider that maybe Cash likes me? Asterisk asterisk best friend asterisk asterisk, oh, come on, if he really liked you, he would have pursued you a long time ago. Why would he be waiting until now? Asterisk asterisk me asterisk asterisk, oh, asterisk asterisk best friend asterisk asterisk, hold on, you don't like Cash, do you? Oh my god, shocked. JPG, asterisk asterisk me asterisk asterisk, no, I just feel a bit weird. Asterisk asterisk best friend asterisk asterisk, weird about what? Asterisk asterisk me asterisk asterisk, I find myself relying on him a lot. I keep thinking of him whenever I'm doing something, especially after he kissed me. Asterisk asterisk best friend asterisk asterisk, Julie. Asterisk asterisk me asterisk asterisk, what? Asterisk asterisk best friend asterisk asterisk, I think you need to differentiate whether your discomfort is because you've grown accustomed to him being around and can't imagine losing him, or if you actually have feelings for him. By the way, Heath already asked for your wish it before we started this conversation, and I gave it to him. Asterisk asterisk me asterisk asterisk, I am bleeding out. JPG, asterisk asterisk best friend asterisk asterisk, do me a favor. He was once my class monitor. Just humor me a bit so I don't look too bad. Pleading. JPG. After closing the chat with Gladys, I sighed deeply. What a mess. I reluctantly accepted Keith's wish-it request, and exchanged a few casual messages. For dinner, I ordered a McDonald's burger meal and, holding my cat, I ate the burger while working on calculus problems. I felt utterly gloomy. Nothing felt right. I didn't contact Cash for the next 3 days and had no idea what he was up to. He was supposed to help me with calculus, but he vanished. Meanwhile, Keith occasionally sent messages, and I replied with little enthusiasm. Eventually, I decided to visit my parents for some comfort. When I got home, I found the house empty. As I was heading downstairs to pick up a package, I saw Cash's mom and quickly greeted her. Oh, I haven't seen Julie in half a year. You look even better. Come over for dinner. His mom immediately grabbed my hand and welcomed me warmly, while petting my cat, hoping to see Cash. I agreed somewhat hesitantly. Once inside, I looked around and saw the house was empty. Ron Cooper was busy at work and usually didn't have dinner at home. But where was Cash? Where could that guy be? I felt a bit disappointed. His mom handed me a plate of fruit. Julie, have some fruit. Dinner will be delivered soon. His mom couldn't cook, and the cook usually took the summer off, so dinner was ordered from outside. Thanks, Auntie. I poked at a piece of watermelon and casually asked, is Cash not at home? That kid was sent by his dad to a blind date today. She poured me a glass of fruit tea with a smile. Don't mind him, he's never home. A blind date. My breath caught, and my heart felt squeezed. Really, he went on a blind date. I took a strategic sip of tea, trying to hide my reaction. It's some partner's daughter of Ron Cooper. Who knows? I usually don't keep track of these things. She heard the doorbell and thought it was dinner arriving, but it turned out to be Cash coming back. Why are you back? Didn't your dad take you to a dinner? Didn't want to go. I went to play basketball with friends. As soon as I heard this, I quickly stood up and turned around to see it was indeed Cash. He was wearing a black t-shirt, sweaty, and holding a basketball. I felt a sigh of relief. He hadn't gone on a blind date. Cash noticed me, paused, seemed to want to say something, then stopped and hurried upstairs after saying, I'm going to take a shower. His mom invited me to sit down, and ordered a few more dishes over the phone. When Cash came down, wrapped in a towel and smelling of steam, his mom was on the phone with her friend in another room. How come you're at my house? Cash naturally sat beside me, the couch sinking under him. I shifted a bit to the side. My parents aren't home, so I came here for a free meal. As I spoke, my cat jumped onto Cash's lap. Cash gently stroked my cat's neck. How's calculus going? He looked up at me, with a relaxed and smiling expression. I sighed in relief and shook my head. Not well. Someone promised to tutor me, but disappeared. Cash scratched the cat's chin. I have some friends to play basketball with, but I'll tutor you after that. He focused on petting the cat. I looked down at the cat and missed the fleeting look of disappointment in Cash's eyes. After dinner, his mom urged Cash to take me for a walk in the neighborhood to aid digestion. The neighborhood was warm and noisy, with the constant sound of cicadas and groups of people walking, many of whom were older folks, wearing shorts. I immediately felt a swarm of mosquitoes around me, which only added to my frustration. Unexpectedly, Cash led me to a clear area, pulled a small spray bottle from his pocket, and sprayed mosquito repellent all over me. Feeling the familiar scent, I was a bit embarrassed. I hadn't expected Cash to be so considerate. Thank you. Cash straightened up, looked at me for a while, and sighed. You're so polite now. Do you need some spray too? I can help you. I took the spray bottle from Cash's hand and realized it was familiar. Isn't this the spray bottle I gave you before? It used to contain alcohol, was quite small, and had a cute strawberry bear pattern. Yeah, a certain pig gave it to me, Cash replied with a smile. You're the pig. I pushed Cash playfully but almost tripped over a stone. Cash caught my waist, preventing me from falling face first. Warm arms, still faintly sweaty, held me by the waist. My back pressed against Cash's abs, and the scent of mosquito repellent lingered around us, making my heart race uncontrollably. Are you okay? Cash asked, the vibrations from his chest making me even more uncomfortable. I straightened my hair and shook my head silently. Did you hit something? Cash saw I wasn't speaking, and raised his hand to check on me. I'm fine, I mumbled. I have to go to Joe City the day after tomorrow, probably for a week. I'll catch up on your lessons when I get back, Cash said, patting my head. In the meantime, review the material. Okay, I thought to myself that I might, perhaps, maybe be falling for Cash. Gladys wouldn't stop pestering me to have dinner with her, so I had to take her to a well-reviewed local Western restaurant. How's it going? Has Keith been contacting you often lately? Gladys asked while enjoying her toast. I told you he must be interested in you, otherwise he wouldn't have gone through me to invite you to a movie. What? I looked up, surprised. This was different from what I'd heard before. Gladys smirked and spilled the beans. Sis, I didn't do much. I was just a messenger. She then awkwardly scratched her head. Keith reached out to one of my classmates, wanting to get to know you. I remembered you had praised him in front of me before, so I thought I'd help him out. And Keith is pretty good. Definitely a high-class handsome guy. He's probably been noticing you since junior year. I only said he was good at math, I said, rubbing my temples. But I really don't like him. Gladys furrowed her brows and scrutinized me. You're not actually into Cash, are you? You've never mentioned it before. Then she shifted her tone. Honestly, Cash is also great, tall, handsome, a perfect match for you. And you've known each other since childhood. I knew it. Gladys was the type to stir up trouble. At that moment, a surprising voice interrupted. I looked up to see a little beauty in a pink dress, with flowing hair standing in front of me. I exchanged a puzzled glance with Gladys. The little beauty seemed familiar, but I couldn't place her. Maybe an old classmate. Julie. Gladys, don't you recognize me? It's Vida. After some pleasantries, I realized she was the plump girl who used to sit in the corner of the adjacent class, now transformed completely. Gladys used her silver tongue to uncover Vida's real intention. She wanted to get Cash's contact information through us. Should we give it or not? Gladys looked straight at me, and after a moment of hesitation, I gave out Cash's Sweshit ID. Vida left joyfully. Gladys looked at me with a mix of pity and exasperation. Julie, you're definitely inviting a rival for yourself. Vida now looks like a pure, delicate flower, definitely not someone to be underestimated. If Cash gets drawn to her, I'll see how you'll react. Wasn't she just supporting Keith a few minutes ago? Now she's turned against him. Gladys grinned. I support whoever my sister likes. Soon, Cash's message arrived. Cash, you gave my Weshit to someone else. Me? Yeah. Met her while having dinner with Gladys. Vida said she wanted to thank you for your help back then. Cash. Me, what's wrong? Cash, nothing. Me, are you upset? I know you don't like adding unfamiliar people, but she seemed really sincere. Cash, yes, I'm upset. Me, what should we do? Cash, what do you think? Me, when will you be back? I'll treat you to a meal and apologize. Cash, in 3 days. Wait for me at home. I stared blankly at the chat. unsure if Cash was really upset. With no time to think further, I noticed the kitten seemed unwell. It had shown a slight loss of appetite earlier, but now it was suddenly vomiting. I gently petted the kitten and decided to take it to the vet. At that moment, Keith messaged me, inviting me to an evening musical. I had to explain the situation and decline. Unexpectedly, Keith called me, saying there was a vet clinic near my home run by his brother, and he could help me make an appointment. I had initially planned to take the kitten to a farther clinic, but seeing how unwell the kitten was, I agreed without hesitation. When I arrived at the vet's office, Keith was waiting at the door. I've made the appointment. We can go in for the checkup now, Keith said, looking at the kitten with concern. The kitten really doesn't seem to have much energy. Thank you, I nodded, feeling anxious and skipping any further small talk. After the checkup, it turned out the kitten had some gastrointestinal inflammation, and the doctor prescribed medication. The kitten took 2 pills on the spot, and after an hour of observation without vomiting, I finally felt relieved. Keith insisted on driving me back, and seeing the kitten looking dazed, I agreed. After getting out of the car, I thanked Keith. I really appreciate it today. If it weren't for you, the kitten would have suffered for a while longer. No need to thank me. If you're going to thank anyone, thank the kitten for having a good owner, Keith said seriously. Well, I'll invite you to dinner another day, I said, feeling an uneasy premonition. Julie, Keith called my name. Yeah. The summer's sultry breeze blew on my face, and I felt a bit disoriented. I've actually been paying attention to you for a long time, Keith said with a resigned smile. I thought since you were single, I might have a chance. But after seeing how you acted during the movie, and how you've been chatting with me recently, I can guess that you seem to have someone else in your heart. Keith took off his glasses, and his eyes were bright. I didn't know what to say and fell silent for a moment. Do I still have a chance? Keith asked cautiously, his eyes full of visible hope. Maybe I'm a bit late. Seeing that I didn't answer, Keith continued, during the first mock exam of our sophomore year, your perfect essay circulated throughout the grade. I was amazed by your writing skills. Later, when I met you in the office, I realized you were that talented writer. That's why I became interested in you, and always used office visits as an excuse to bump into you. Keith reminisced. I was planning to confess once we got to university, but it seems I'm a bit late. I'm sorry, I said after a long silence, giving the only response I could. Keith nodded understandingly, smiling wryly. It's pretty much what I expected. At least I was brave enough to confess to the girl I like. Right. I apologized again. Before leaving, Keith asked me if I liked Cash, the boy who always looked at me during the movie. I didn't answer. As I walked disoriented to the corridor, the light came on, and I saw Cash looking exhausted and with deep-set eyes. Why are you back? Didn't you say it would be 2 or 3 more days? Cash looked at me with a complex expression, his brows slightly furrowed, as if he wanted to say something, but didn't know how to start. I held the kitten carrier, feeling a sense of being caught in the act. Did he overhear my conversation with Keith? No. It's unlikely. At this distance, he could only see our movements, not hear our conversation. Then did Keith's attempt to pat my head get seen by Cash too, despite my slight movement to avoid it? I didn't dare to look directly at Cash. Have you eaten? I coughed lightly, trying to shake off my anxiety, and tightened my grip on my fists, meeting Cash's clear eyes. No, Cash replied, still looking at me, his tone ambiguous. Neither clearly happy nor disappointed. So I made the offer. Would you like to come upstairs? I have dumplings in the fridge, corn and shrimp, your favorite. At that moment, the kitten meowed from the carrier, breaking the silence in the corridor and slightly easing my anxiety. Sure, Cash nodded in agreement, no longer emitting a cold, distant vibe. He took quick steps towards me, helped me remove the carrier from my shoulder, and carried it himself. Once the kitten was off me, I felt suddenly light, and when I touched the back of my neck, I realized I was sweating. Thank you, I said, pulling out a tissue to wipe my sweat, and followed Cash with my head lowered, thinking about how many dumplings I should eat, and what to feed the kitten for dinner. When we entered the apartment, it was already getting dark, but the streetlights had yet to turn on. Looking out from the floor-to-ceiling window, The blurry lights of passing cars gave me a sudden feeling of relaxation and exhaustion. As soon as we got in, Cash placed the kitten down, and it meowed and headed straight for its bed. I turned to close the door, trying to keep the scorching summer corridor heat outside. What's wrong? A shadow fell over me, and I was met with a faint scent of gardenia, the same perfume I left in Cash's car. Standing at the entrance, I slightly crouched, unsure of what to do. Cash sighed deeply, then straightened me up, and rested his chin on my right shoulder. The slight vibration from his voice sent a tingly sensation through my shoulder. What did you two talk about? His voice vibrated slightly, making me feel a bit tingly. Who? Keith, I asked knowingly, then pretended casually. We didn't talk about much. He took the kitten to the vet and drove me back. I just thanked him. Cash chuckled softly, tucking a strand of hair behind my ear. You're lying, and not being very honest. I was caught off guard, knowing he could always tell when I was lying. But why couldn't I fight back? Cash, I said firmly. Yeah, I'm here. Cash's voice carried a nasal tone, oddly satisfied. Why did you kiss me before? I threw out the second half of the question casually. You like me? It was a definite tone. Cash froze for a moment, then lifted his chin from my shoulder, and looked directly at my face. My heart raced, and I was actually nervous. As the sky darkened, Cash and I stood at the entrance, looking up at his face, which was mostly in shadow. Cash stared at me for a long while, then leaned in and placed a feather-light kiss on my forehead. I stood there like a wooden puppet, eyes wide, unable to believe he was so direct. Did I make it obvious enough? Cash turned on the light, and the room lit up with a click. He covered my eyes to shield me from the bright light, and I heard his slightly exasperated tone. I was trying to confess before anyone irrelevant saw us, but I didn't expect to be preempted. After driving for 5 or 6 hours without rest, I see you downstairs, holding the kitten and gazing intensely at someone irrelevant. So my earlier suspicion was correct otherwise. Why would he have kissed me in secret? I thought about using the earlier surveillance of his secret kiss to confront him, but he admitted it so straightforwardly. I didn't. Cash slowly removed his hand from my eyes, coming closer with visible tension in his eyes. What about you? Do you like me? Yes, I nodded without hesitation. Not that kind of like. I mean, do you like me as I like you? Cash's face showed a moment of disbelief, then he quickly explained. Do you understand? I burst out laughing. I understand. How could he be so adorable? Really. Cash blushed for once, a rare sight for him. Is that so? I smiled and gave him a small kiss on the cheek. Cash's eyes lit up suddenly, showing an uncommon shyness. The streetlights outside had all turned on, and I pushed Cash away, intending to find some dumplings in the fridge. Cash grabbed my arm, seemingly uncertain, and asked cautiously, You really like me, right? Not like a brother likes a sister. Why would he think that? I suddenly remembered what Gladys had said and realized, perhaps to everyone, Cash and I were just like good siblings. It made sense, considering I met Cash in middle school, and our parents knew each other well. Back then, I always saw him as a competitor in studies, and our interactions were often bickering. It was full of friction with him. Later, as we grew older, he became more understanding, not picking fights with me, and would even protect me. Maybe it's like Gladys said, an old mother hen protecting her chicks. Thinking of this, I couldn't help but smile and asked, When did you start liking me? I looked down, rummaging through the fridge. After a long search, I finally retrieved the dumplings, but Cash was still stumbling for an answer. When I turned around, Cash had an unusually red face with 2 rosy cheeks. Seeing this made me even happier, and I teased him. Could it be that you had a crush on me since kindergarten? I walked toward the kitchen, planning to boil the dumplings. After a long afternoon taking care of the kitten and arguing with Cash, I was quite hungry. To my surprise, Cash nodded seriously. Yes, I've liked you for a long time. He lowered his voice. A very long time. His words stunned me into silence. In high school, Cash, with his excellent looks and grades, was the recipient of many love letters from girls. I even benefited from receiving many boxes of sweets. He's always been harsh with me and often bossy, like a nagging mother. I never would have thought that he actually liked me, I quickly patted his shoulder reassuringly and said, I like you too. That's too perfunctory. Cash's handsome eyebrows furrowed. My precious cabbage. I haven't even touched it yet, and now someone else is trying to steal it from me. What a weird metaphor. Cash looked like an angry pufferfish. Stay away from him in the future. You're my girlfriend. I'll get jealous. I nodded with a smile and mimicked him seriously. Then you're not allowed to chat with Vida. You're my boyfriend. Although I did feel a pang of jealousy when I gave Cash Sweatshirt to Vida. Cash gently hugged me, looked into my eyes, and spoke softly. I'm yours. So you're saying you wanted to make me jealous by saying you'd teach me advanced math but then went off to play basketball, and even said you went on a blind date. I suddenly remembered a series of events and realized, that's too much. Cash laughed unkindly. But back then, you were chatting with Keith like nothing was wrong. He then playfully pinched my cheek. You have no heart, woman. I tried to get back at him, but ended up being counterattacked. I had no choice but to admit defeat. Yes, I was wrong, Cash. Then, I seriously told Cash, Julie, really like you. Very, very much. Cash's eyes turned a bit red, and he smiled as he said, I do too. And then, my new boyfriend and I happily enjoyed a meal of corn and shrimp dumplings, and our little cat got a can of food as a treat from the couple. **7 Cash extra**. Julie is always heartless. Before the college entrance exams, I kept a tight watch on her love life and chased away many of her suitors. She buried herself in various study books, and her most frequent question was, Cash, help me with this problem. I didn't care much about the love letters and gifts from other girls, sometimes even pulling chocolates from my desk and praising them for their taste. I thought she must really be oblivious. So, during our freshman year, I confidently filled her in on a lot of shoujo manga knowledge and then asked her, what are your plans for college? What are the top 3 things you want to do? Julie looked serious and, after thinking for a while, said, I hope not to fail any courses, not to gain weight, and to get a teaching certificate. I was almost knocked out by her way of thinking and asked, anything else? Julie glanced at me and shook her head. Why, are you copying my goal plan? What? Didn't you just copy my college goals? From that day on, I decided to gradually work on winning her over. I couldn't believe that after 4 years of college, I still couldn't make her my girlfriend. So, I took her to the library every day, joined clubs, and traveled to various places. Anyone with eyes could see that I liked her. Only 2 people didn't think so. One was her, and the other was Gladys. Gladys insisted that my feelings for Julie were purely those of a neighborly big brother. No wonder you two could get along so well. Your thought processes are so similar. No problem. I still have plenty of time. So when Julie said she wanted to go to the movies with me, fireworks went off in my head. Could it be that the long-standing iron tree had finally blossomed? Even though Gladys was a third wheel, I could ignore that. No worries. But I never expected that this crazy Gladys would bring a handsome guy to poach me. So I was so angry that I bit Julie. She didn't understand what was going on and was enthusiastically discussing the plot with Keith in the cinema. It almost made me faint with anger. I thought it over and decided to play hard to get with Julie. Otherwise, she would never understand my importance. Sure enough, she came to my house and went for a walk with me. My young heart raced. Then I decided on a final strategy to make Julie miss me by being away for a few days. An old trick, but if it works, then it's fine. The result was beyond my expectations. Not only did she give me the weshit of another girl, but she also started hanging out with Keith. I couldn't hold back any longer. If I didn't act now, it would be too late. So I drove for 5 or 6 hours to Julie's place and saw Julie and Keith gazing at each other under the sunset. I was furious. And they were holding the cat. The cat that ate so many of my treats had betrayed me. I was really heartbroken, feeling very wronged. I confessed my feelings to Julie. Fortunately, this ungrateful woman also liked me. My grievances were not in vain. She finally became my girlfriend. It's wonderful. We have countless futures ahead of us, and countless declarations of love to make. This story is complete. Feel free to subscribe to the channel for the latest content. Many novels are updated daily.